I knew this would be too. So, further to what I was listening to today, I heard this conversation, and this happens a lot, particularly with Brianna Joy Gray, another massive. We're so lucky to have these people. But I was listening to a conversation, and again, I was listening to this rather contrived language. It was her and I think one chap and two other women. I'm sorry, I should have recorded all of this, but I'm listening. I'm thinking as I'm listening. Why do grown-up women choose the cadences of what we all recognize as Valley Girl? Why is every phrasing, and the boys, the men too, why is the phrase, they sound like Valley Girls, why is the phrasing punctuated relentlessly with like, it's like, and what's that great line from Shakespeare? It takes from your achievement, though performed at height, the very pith and marrow of your attribute. He's talking about, this Hamlet talking about Denmark. It is a custom more honored in the breach than in the observance. That when I hear very, very intelligent and intentional people speaking with this vocal fry, and it's upward inflection, it takes from their achievement. However, I think part of what's behind it is a sort of cliqueiness. For when women do it, I just think, why are you behaving like 14-year-olds? Why are you expressing yourself like 14-year-olds? And very often, what they're saying beneath the likes and the vocal fry is deep, deep stuff. It's profound stuff. And then suddenly when they get to the profound, their voice drops out of the vocal fry because they're not doing whatever this other thing is that they're doing. But combined with that, there is this, it's not tone, but intention. Basically, we have this thing we call a democracy. And for me, eventually, I tolerated that notion. I said, yeah, absolutely. We go out and vote every 2 years or whatever it is. And we have certain freedoms and freedoms of speech and stuff like that. But it isn't, because it still exists. People still define themselves as being part of the community that speaks for, and by the people. That's the Republic. Res publica, of the people. There is no, they'll say things, well, you can't say this to people, or you can't say that to people, or people will do this. And I go, well, you can. You can say, you can ask people, because they're actually no different from you. They have as much capacity, intellectual capacity, within a few IQ points of you. No matter how many degrees you have, no matter whatever it is. They haven't spent their lives maybe learning the art of sophistry or rhetoric, which is a sophistry. They haven't done that, but one would be well advised to go into any community that you live in. When you find the person that is, I don't know, ask them again. If we're dealing with vital things right now, and when you do ask them again, something happens. And then hopefully what happens after a while of this, instead of assuming as an elite that we are the ones who are gifted to, and we are the ones, we write the articles, and we're the journalists, and we're the bloggers, and all the rest of it. You're no more than just one human being. And you're no more interesting than just one human being. What Brianna Joy does is great because she fields a bunch of these different people, but often they're the same person. They're having the same discussion. They're speaking the same, they're all agreeing with each other. Right? I mean, I would be interested in that discussion with Marjorie Taylor Greene, with her massive, Jesus said and Jesus said. That would be a useful thing in this day and age, to find a way to reconcile where this presumably slightly atheist, I'm beginning to think more and more that there are very few atheists or other than monotheists in the world, which is a big problem for me. But people exist, and they have their beliefs. But for instance, Tucker Carlson talks to the AI guy, can't remember his name, Andy something, talks to the AI guy, and he trips him up, and he says, so you're saying that your AI has a morality system. What is the source of your morality when you're creating AI? And this guy mumbles, and then everybody jumps on him. Everybody jumps on this guy, and Greenwald, and everybody starts to have fun with this guy. Oh, he couldn't hold his own against Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson's source of morality is Jesus Christ. Right? Sorry, that's not. If somebody wants to invent another one, Jesus was a perfectly marvelous moral chap, as far as we know, as far as we believe. Screwed totally by Paul, for instance. It's, Glenn, or they're all saying to me, they're all rehabilitating Tucker Carlson right now, which is just fine. He's a lovely chap. But let's be really clear. Nick Fuentes, Charlie Kirk, they're all theocrats. That's the core of, as Tucker says, your morality. So they're challenging somebody based on the gotcha. Oh, you don't have God going on. And the evidence of God's influence is miserable, dears. Look at it. 2,000 years, 3,700 or whatever it is, since the monotheistic thing. I'm sorry, the results are in, and they're not good. I mean, I don't know how many more years you need to just say, at least let's modify this thing, let's adapt it, let's make it, let's, instead of going back and doing what insane people do, which is reiterating it and reinforcing it and saying, oh, well, we have to pray harder. That is the how do Democrats come to a reconciliation with themselves? By saying to me, to the world, we are pro-apartheid when it comes to Israel. We were anti-apartheid when it came to South Africa. These are the two bastions of that way of constructing a society. It's simple. And the only thing that stops you from doing that is that you have a God, and you share this tradition of this very peculiar force in the world. Read Deuteronomy. Crikey. So that's a jumble, but I do that. And it's just trying to get to what's going on underneath, and what I'm hearing, what's going on underneath the Valley Girl, underneath the likes, the vocal fry, boys and girls, men and women doing vocal fry, doing these affected ways of expressing themselves. What I hear underneath it all is this self-defeating elitism. Populism is democracy. The opposite of populism is elitism, as I said a million times. And so you're coming down one side of them now. They were saying, well, there's left populism, there's right populism. It's all populism. And you are no brighter, no more valid than the truck driver. You're just not. You have a skill, you spend a lot of money obtaining the skill, you're no different.